Top 10 NFL outside linebackers, 5-1. Number 5, Chandler Jones, age 27. Chandler Jones is a former defensive end for the New England Patriots. Got moved to the outside linebacker position in Arizona. Got a really good signing contract in Arizona. He actually had 5 years, worth $82.5 million. Very good deal, very good contract, very worth it. This guy has always been very, very great. The only question that people had was, can he stay healthy? And this past 2 years he has, so might as well give him a pretty good ranking now. And he is number 5 now. Now, he played 16 and started 16. He had 3 pass deflections, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 11 sacks, and a combined total of 49 tackles. So, very good for being transitioned from a DN to a linebacker his first year in a new team in the NFC West. He proves that he can get with the best of them. Unfortunately, no, he didn't get to the playoffs. Arizona did not get to the playoffs this year. No, he didn't get into the Pro Bowl. But what he did was get a lot of respect from me, because it's very hard to transition from a D-end to a linebacker and have to deal with a lot. Because it's a lot. It's one position that you just haven't really gotten to play much yet, especially in the NFL. You might have played it maybe earlier in your career, college or high school or whatever. But in the NFL, when you're with this one position and they're transitioning you to a different one, that's pretty hard, man. And I gotta give them props. I really gotta give these people, Arizona, for scouting the kind of talent that they thought Chandler can bring, but also him for not complaining, for him just stepping up and be like, all right, well, whatever. I'm a D-end. I guess I got to do my job. And you know what? That's awesome. That is an awesome thing to see, is Chandler Jones being Chandler Jones and just being a monster. And I respect him a lot. So, Chandler Jones, you are number 5 right now, pal. Continue to play well. Continue to show us you're great. Continue climbing the ladder of the best outside linebacker in the league. Number 4, KJ Wright, age 28. Seattle Seahawks outside linebacker, also a superstar. A man that's literally a superstar. A guy that really no one knows who is still. Pretty much at a very elite level since 2011. For the most part, no one knows who this guy is still. And that's very sad, because again, when you look at Seattle, who do you think of most? Well, people now think of Sherm, they think of Earl, they think of Michael Bennett, they think of Cam, They think of Bobby Wagner. They also even could think of Cliff Averill, to be quite honest with you, even more than KJ Wright. People don't understand, when you have Bobby Wagner and then you have KJ Wright on the outside. Ooh, this is a really good defense. I'm just letting you guys know this right now, that the Seattle defense there will be a lot of guys shown on this. I've already put, obviously, Wagner's on it. I've already had Bennett. I've already had Averill. Well, now I'm bringing you an outside linebacker, KJ Wright. The quiet yet lethal part of this defense that really is a focal point. A guy that does everything. A guy that's just... He's incredible, man. He's good. He's a great player. He is all over the field. And for a guy that was drafted 4th round out of Mississippi State, this guy has a lot to prove. And he's proven it. He proves it every single year how good he plays. And it's finally paying off, because he's number 4. I got him number 4. He's been doing this for a while now, and no one's ever put him into this category. Well, I'm going to put him in this category because he deserves this much recognition for what he's done. First of all, he gets paid nothing. I feel like 2 years, $13.5 million. Should be paid more than that. He should be paid a lot more than that. He should be paid in the 50 to 60 million. Not gonna lie, he is a very big contributor to the Seattle defense, and I will show you how. 16 games played, 16 started, 5 pass deflections. Okay, he can get to that where he can disrupt passes, he can read the QB. Okay, he's got that skill. 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. All right, it's only 1 fumble, 1 forced fumble. I understand, but he's had seasons he had 4 forced fumbles. He can disrupt passes. He can try to bat balls down. He can try to strip it from backs or from receivers or from the QB, of course. 4 sacks. All right, that means he can actually get to the QB. And lastly, 124 combined tackles. He's a tackler. He can get there. He's going to tackle. He's not going to just be submissive and not be, he's going to be a liability. No, he's a reliable guy. And this year in 2 games that he played and started in the playoffs, 8 combined tackles, or 16 combined tackles. No sacks, nothing like that. But again, if his play elevated a little more, I could see Seattle beating Atlanta. I could say respectively. But no. I just think, honestly, really, he's one of the most underappreciated guys in the league, and he needs to be recognized. And you know what? Thank God that the league put him in the Pro Bowl. They put him in the Pro Bowl this year. Of course, he deserves the Pro Bowl, but he needs to be a multiple-time Pro Bowler. And I think he deserves to be a multiple-time Pro Bowler. I am not going to be shocked if he becomes a Pro Bowler next year, and then the year after that, and the year after that. What I am going to be shocked is if he doesn't make an All-Pro in his career. I think he should be an All-Pro player, and I think he should be finally recognized as one of the elite. So, that's my take on him. He's number 4. Number 3, Thomas Davis, age 34. It's almost like he gets better with age. He continues to get better with age and better with age, and he's just a star, man. He's such a great man. He's such a great, humble person that just always works. He's just a hard worker. He's really one of those guys that wants to improve, that wants to win, that wants to be the best at what he does and be productive. And like I said, he's done his part over and over and over and over again. And I think he needs to get recognized as a possibility, if he continues this route, to be a Hall of Famer. I really do believe he's got the credentials to be a possible Hall of Famer in terms of how he's really changed the game, just how he's just been so productive over every single year, quietly putting up great numbers, doing really great things, and really being a part of this Carolina team that's seen its share of struggles. And he's to a point where, you know, he got to the Super Bowl, they didn't win. Okay, he's still going to continue, and he's still going to keep fighting for it. You know, he still wants a title. He wants a Super Bowl. He wants to win. He wants to be a very valuable asset to a team that's trying to fight for a better spot than they did last year, which was, they just weren't that great. They didn't even make the playoffs last year. It was rough. But Thomas Davis is a machine, man. He works hard for what he tries to get, what he tries to achieve, and he's achieved a lot in this league. So you need to recognize Thomas Davis a lot. And as a human being, he's a wonderful human being. He helps so many people, and he's got a kind heart. He really does. Now, Thomas Davis, 2 years, $18 million. So will he retire a Carolina Panther, or will he go at 36 to a different team? That will be yet to be determined. All I know is that Thomas Davis is going to play his heart out. And let's see what he did this year. 16 games he played and started. He had 3 interceptions, 4 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries for a touchdown, 2.5 sacks, and a combined 106 tackles. What more can you need? He does everything. He's a 5-man wrecking crew, man. He's got it all, you know. Interceptions, sacks, forced fumbles and fumbles overall, and tackles. He's got it all. He's a really great football player, and you know, deserving of what he got, which was a Pro Bowl this year. Didn't get a first-team All-Pro like he did last year, but that's okay. He's going to get it eventually. Again, I believe he'll be getting it next year, actually. I think he's not going to be declining anytime soon. With age, he just seems to get better. It's kind of like Benjamin Button, reversing in time there. But yeah, no, he Needs to be recognized as being one of the top players, and that's where he's going to be at. He's going to be at number 3. Number 2, Lavonte David, age 27. A really not talked about, really low superstar kind of person. A guy that actually produces and is really a superstar, but no one talks about, no one gives credibility, no one does nothing because they don't know who he is. And that's the problem, is that no one knows who Lavonte David is. They should know who he is because he's made a lot of tackles, he's made a lot of sacks, he's made a lot of fumble recoveries, forced fumbles, just in general, everything you want out of a linebacker is what Lavonte David has done for solid years. Pretty much since he's gone to this NFL, he's been just a solid freak of productivity. And people don't know who Lavonte David is still. And like I said, that's not at all, that's not fun. That's not fun for that guy to know that he's not really still well known. And I think once they start getting into more primetime TVs, in terms of games, in terms of getting into the postseason, then yes, that's when I think Lavonte David will be more recognizable. People just don't know because Tampa Bay is kind of a small market in a way, and Tampa Bay is not a New England kind of team. They're not a Pittsburgh. They're not a even like a Philadelphia. Even in their worst years, people know who some of the Philadelphia players are. You know, they're not a New York. You know, they're not one of those big market teams. They're just Tampa Bay, and people just don't know the type of talent that Tampa Bay has. But they have a lot of talent. Let me tell you this year. That's now developing. But Lavonte David never needed to develop. He was always a superstar player that was just going to get in the NFL and just dominate. And you know what? That's what he's been doing. So let's first run down what his contract is. It's 4 years, $40.2 million. That's a pretty good contract for a stud superstar linebacker. Very good. Again, like I said, very underappreciated, very underrated, very underranked. Now, 16 games he played and started. He had 1 interception, he had 1 touchdown, he had 3 pass deflections, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 5 sacks, and 117 combined tackles. What more do you want out of a linebacker, especially on the outside? Obviously, yes, he can also be an inside kind of guy, but, you know, he's primarily outside, and for an outside guy, that's pretty good. That's really good. And for him to not even be at the Pro Bowl at all, or first team All-Pro, it's beyond me. I can't give you an explanation why. But he, like I said, he deserves to be on this list because he's Lavonte David, man. He needs to be more recognized. And I'm telling you guys, if you guys draft him, you won't regret it. He's really good. He's really reliable, and he's really productive. Keep an eye on this guy if you are an NFL fan or just starting to get into this sport a lot more. Number 1, Von Miller, age 28. Who do you think I was going to put? You think I was going to put someone that people just will be like, okay, cool, who's this guy? Or a upcoming kind of guy? No, I'm going to put the best outside linebacker in the game, arguably one of the best defenders in the game, arguably a future Hall of Famer. And I would say will go down just like Steve Atwater or even a Bill Romanowski in a way as one of the best Denver Broncos defenders or even cornerstone defenders of their franchise, as well as one of the most important and very influential guys in NFL history. Von Miller is just an impact guy. He really is. A guy coming out of A&M, I believe. Yeah, and there was a lot of hype. They knew that Von Miller was going to be something special. Again, there's always that hype where people are kind of nervous because they don't know if the hype is real or if the hype is a one-year wonder or a few times and then he'll be injured and that'll be the end of the story. You've seen many drafts that goes super well, but the player has a great year great 2 years or something, then he all falls down, injuries or something. So I'm sure that was what struck most. But Von Miller is a strong dude. He's a strong man. He's a big man, and you know, he didn't really need the help, but it was good to have DeMarcus Ware on the team. I feel like it really made Vaughn grow into the player that he needed to be, which was a super stud of a linebacker, and a guy that's a leader now, a guy that's a focal point of the Denver Broncos, and a guy that destroyed Cam Newton. He destroyed the Panthers, and he destroys the competition every time he gets out there. You need to double team Von Miller, or else he's going to light you up. Like, he really is. Like, he's super athletic, and he's just, like I said, he's just a freak. He is one of the best athletes out right now. And like I said, it's Von Miller. It's just like J.J. Watt. They're number one because their name is everywhere. People know who they are, and everyone gravitates toward them because they are special. They are this superstar of the era. Like, they are a big deal now. And that's why, in all honesty, it's Von Miller. Like, that's all I can tell you. He is just Von Miller. He is a legend. He's going to be an NFL legend for sure if he continues this route. Now, 5 years, $95.42 million. You remember that whole story of him wanting to get paid. They paid him pretty well. That's how much he has left now. That's a lot still. He's still got a lot of money to be cashing out, you know, to be cashing into that bank there. But anyway, Von Miller, 16 games he played and started. He had 3 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, 13.5 sacks, and a combined total of 78 tackles. So, a lot more tackles this year pretty much than last year, and a lot more sacks. And he just got to the QB. He's just, yeah, he's lighting people up, and almost there at 100 sacks, and not even 30 yet. That's great. That's really good. Like I said, it's Von Miller, man. He's just a stud. He really is a stud, and it's awesome to see. Now, they didn't get to the playoffs, but as you know, he got a lot of recognition this year, being first-team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler. He definitely should have. I'm pretty sure he was in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, you know, and he was definitely in the conversation for MVP. And for Defensive Player of the Year, I like Khalil Max. I really do. I just think that Von Miller, you know, needs to be and will be a Defensive Player of the Year eventually, because he deserves it, because just how much he's been able to really do for this franchise, and you know how he's been able to change the culture out there. You know, it's like Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack has changed the culture in Oakland. Von Miller has changed the culture in Denver in terms of defensive wise. It's great to see these two young bucks kind of just changing the path of their teams. So like I said, Peyton is gone, and DeMarcus is gone. Older guys are gone. It's all about this big man over here, and number one for him is very much deserving for him. So you did well. You done well. Just continue to improve, Mon. Continue to do what you do, and that's just become a beast.